Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Blessing here. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed all the content that you have seen so far. If you're but a goodie, thank you so much for coming back and for riding with me. Y'all are the true MVPs. Like, honestly, I appreciate you so very much. I noticed we do have a few newbies, so I just wanted to come on here and I guess give a brief introduction. Hi, my name is Blessing. I am Nigerian, Cameroonian. My mom is Nigerian, my dad's Cameroonian. Currently living in Dallas, Texas. I am a registered nurse. And I started this YouTube channel when I was living in Canada. And then after I had my miracle baby, aka Aria, I moved to Dallas. So I've been here ever since, working as a nurse. I love it. And yeah. Also, I try to incorporate some Christian aspects into my channel, either by starting a video with Bible verses, or if I'm doing a girl talk, I might link the topic with something in the scripture. What else? Am I missing anything, y'all? Okay, let's see. This channel originally started as a girl talk channel. And I think we might bring that back, honestly, because my emails, y'all, it originally started as that I wanted a platform where girls could just talk and girls could just vent. I was going through a lot in my relationship, and then my friends were going through a lot in their relationships, and y'all were going through a lot in y'all's relationships. So I was like, you know what, let's do girl talk where we just learn from each other. And that's how this channel originally started. I did kind of take a break from that and try to do a little bit of everything: nursing videos, mom videos, and now we're doing home videos. So this video, as you can see from the title, I just wanted to give you guys some few tips if you're in the process of buying a home, if you're thinking about buying a home, if you're starting to look, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to give you guys a few tips that helped me, so I hope that they can also help you as well. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So first things first, like I said, I am a Christian and I'm very proud to be one. One thing I definitely did before this home buying process was I prayed about it. One thing about me, and if you've been on this channel, you know that I'm a firm believer in writing down your plans. I believe in writing down everything that you're praying for, everything that you're wishing for, everything that you want God to fulfill in your life. I definitely believe in writing it down. You know, you have to speak what you want to see, and you also have to write down what it is that you want to see happen in your life. So end of last year, I told God, I was like, God, before my birthday, I want to be a homeowner. This year, I want to be a homeowner. And that was just what I wrote down in my prayer journal, and I manifested over it. And I started shopping around for houses, like on Zillow, and just looking at things, trying to see what is it that I like. What am I looking for in a house? Obviously, I have a daughter. I knew that I wanted a good school district. I knew I wanted space. I like to entertain. My family likes to come around. So I knew I wanted backyard space. Like, I wanted room. I wanted an open concept. So I had all of that visualized in my head, and I also had that written down. So definitely write down your plans, write down what it is that you want. That is the first step. And because when you see something, when you have something written down, you can pray over it, you can manifest over it, and that's what God is going to answer. So the first thing I did was I wrote down, I said, God, help me to become a homeowner this year, and I vow to return all the glory unto you. It's really important that when you're praying or manifesting for something, that you not only ask for it, but you also tell God, okay, what is it that you're going to do in return? Are you just going to brag about your house? Are you just going to act like you did it all by yourself? No. God does not share his glory with anybody. So that was one thing I said. I was like, I'm going to return all the glory onto you. And so that was the first thing I did. I wrote down the house. I wrote down what I wanted, which was to become a homeowner in 2023. And April 14th of 2023 is when I closed, right before my birthday. So I had a good old birthday, okay? It was just unbelievable. The second thing I did was I started looking for houses. Like I said in the first part of it, was I started looking for houses. I started trying to figure out what it is that I like, trying to narrow it down, because there's so many houses, right? So I started trying to narrow down, okay, what are my dues? I started trying to narrow down what are my non-negotiables and what are some things that I'm willing to compromise on. Also, I am someone who I operate on faith, okay? So I knew I wanted a new construction. I wanted a house that has never been lived in. I don't know if it's the Nigerian in me or what it is, but I just knew I did not want an old house, okay? Because I don't know what has happened in that house, what the history is. I don't know. Maybe it's the Nigerian in me. Comment below if you're the same way. But I definitely knew I wanted a new construction. And so I wrote that down. And then I knew I wanted an open concept kitchen. I knew I wanted a backyard space. I knew I wanted a safe neighborhood for my daughter. Those are things that I was not willing to negotiate. The third thing came, and then I had to think about, okay, price range. What is something that, God forbid, if something was to happen, can I still be able to afford this house? So I started looking at my price range or things that I knew I didn't want to go above, and I would be comfortable with. So that was something that I looked into. That was the second step. So first step, write it down, pray about it, manifest over it. Second step, write down what it is that you're looking for, your non-negotiable things that you do not want to compromise on, and things that, okay, yeah, you might be able to do yourself, compromise. Does that mean that you want a new construction or you want a house that has already been lived in? Does the neighborhood matter to you? Price range, what are you looking for? Do you want an open concept kitchen? Do you want to live in the suburbs or do you want to live in the city? Like, what are things that you're trying to accomplish with this house? So that is definitely the second thing. Have a clear vision of what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. The third thing now came into, okay, I went online and I started trying to search for different lenders. I went online and I started shopping for different lenders. I wanted to know what it is that I would be pre-approved for. So obviously, being a nurse, I wanted to know if there were any nursing incentives out there, and they are. So if you're a nurse and you're trying to buy a home for the first time, definitely look into nursing incentives because there's some deals out there. There are literally like lenders that will pay for your entire closing costs as a registered nurse, not even a registered nurse, as anybody in the healthcare, but that's in the healthcare system. Like, they will literally pay for either your closing costs or they'll give you like $10,000. There's so much out there, so definitely do your research. So I looked into all of that, and then I had to decide if I wanted a conventional loan or if I wanted an FHA loan. Obviously, being a first-time buyer, I wanted the best rate for myself. And so that was my third step, trying to figure out the lender situation. What is it that I can afford? What am I pre-approved for? And let me tell y'all, when I say that God does not look at the size of your bank account, but he looks at the size of your faith, it is so true, because I went into this process and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for the maximum, okay? And every lender I spoke to literally was like, yeah, it's doable, yeah. Everybody was giving me yeah. So I was like, okay, I got my pre-approval letter literally like within 2 days. I made sure I actually had 3 different lenders, because I just wanted to go with the highest, right? So I had one lender that gave me one rate, another one gave me another rate, and then I had a third lender. The third lender was actually my uncle. So I wanted to see like what is it that he would give me, and he gave me his own. So I had all these pre-approvals, and I went house hunting. I decided to go with a realtor, and honestly, I think the realtor thing is up to you really, because what I found is that we did most of the work, but the realtor comes in part with education. And I find that education is key with anything that you're trying to do, especially in the home buying process. You want somebody that can break down what some terminology mean, what is it that they're talking about when they mean rates, what are they talking about when they mean property taxes. You want somebody that can break all those things down. So I definitely do recommend going with a realtor, especially if you're not experienced in the whole home buying situation. So then I reached out to my realtor. I was like, okay, so these are the areas I'm trying to go into. This is what I'm looking for. This is my price range. Let's do it. And I thank God for the realtor we had, because she was really, really sweet. She's somebody that I go to church with. So we ended up doing that, and we found the house we wanted. And like I said, God looks at your faith, not your bank account. Literally, when I tell y'all that everything we did it just kept going smooth. Like, we closed within a month. So our home buying process really started in March, and April 14th, we were closing. So within a month, everything was done. There was never any delay with anything. There was never any obstacles that we had to cross. And I feel like that's because I started with God. I started with putting God in the mix of this. I started by telling God, this is what I want you to do for me. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm praying for. And I think when you have God in that, anything you do in this life, if you surrender it and put God first, it's going to succeed. And like, this process was so smooth, y'all. Like, everything literally was just, it was smooth. Like, I can't even hold you. It was smooth. And I'm very thankful and appreciative for that, because I have friends that have bought houses and they've told me their horror stories, things that they've had to deal with. Either like a realtor not coming through for them, or a lender not coming through for them, or losing the house at the end of the deal. Like, just crazy stories. But I thank God that was not our situation. That 30 days of just, home buying and signing documents and everything was so smooth, and I'm really thankful for that. So, y'all, I'm telling you, you gotta pray about it, first thing. 2, figure out what it is that you want. And 3, get your lender situation. If you're going with the lender, figure out if you're trying to get incentives. Definitely go into that. Try to figure out what it is that's going to work for you or for your family. The 4th thing we did after getting the whole lender in the morning, we started actually going to the houses, trying to see, like, okay, do we like this house? Do we like the neighborhood? It feel right. I am somebody that I have to walk into a space. It has to feel right for me. Not just me, but it has to feel right for my daughter. Obviously, Ari is young, so anything that's new, she's excited. She's running around. She's jumping. But I wanted it to feel right for all of us. And also, I wanted to make sure, like, I'm not going too far away from my job. Obviously, I work in a hospital, so I'm commuting, so I need to know when I'm driving back from a night shift, like, is it going to be too far? Like, is it close enough for everything? So that was something that we looked into. So going into the houses and just getting a feel for it and trying to know if it was right for me. So that was the 4th thing I did. Was I think, yeah, I only saw maybe like 4 houses until I found this one. And when I saw this one, I was like, we literally walked into this house, and I was like, this is it. This is it. Like, this is it. I knew I had the open concept. I visualized where I wanted everything, and it just worked. It was within the price range I was looking for. There was a school close by. It was close enough to my job. It was just okay for a first-time home, for a starter home, and I was good with it. So when I walked into this house, I had peace. And that's something, like, that's really big for me. If I'm doing something, I need to have peace over it. So, and the backyard was sick. So I was like, yes, this is it. This is where I want to be. The 5th step for us was literally just closing, trying to figure out our closing costs. Now, this is something, again, like, this is a testimony for me, because when I think about the amount of money that we had to put forward for our closing costs, when I tell you, I honestly don't know how we came up with that amount of money in a month. It's crazy. And I throw it all back again to God, because honestly, money was just coming from everywhere and anywhere. Like, things were just happening during that period, and money was just coming in, and we had more than enough. We had more than enough for our closing costs, to do things that we wanted to do in the house. And I am amazed, because on a normal circumstance, to come up with the when I tell you guys the amount, I don't even want to tell you guys the amount that we had to come up with, but like, God made it possible, because there's no way, honestly. Like, every time I'm like, okay, I don't know, we're like short this amount, it's like money will just come in. Money will just kept coming in, and things was just happening. And I was able to make the deadline. Like, I was able to make it. Not only was I able to make it, I had surplus. And that is just the true testament of God. Like I said, your faith is what's going to carry you in this life. Your faith is what's going to take you places that man cannot take you. Your faith is what's going to open doors for you that man can't shut. And that's just what it was. So I think God just made it so possible, because when the money now came, obviously we had to go get our cashier's checks, take it to closing and everything. I just sat there and all like, how, and it's just so amazing. But I wanted to come on here and share this with you guys. If you're in the process of buying a home, if you're looking into a home, whatever it may be, just write down a list of things that you want. Write down a list of things that you're also willing to compromise on. Figure out if you want a lender. Figure out if you want to go with a realtor, if you want to try to do it on your own. Shop around for lenders. Don't just go with the first one that you find. Definitely shop around. You want to shop around for the best rates. If you're in the healthcare field, see if they have healthcare incentives. Look for lenders that are willing to give extra money for you being in the healthcare field. Either that will cover your closing costs. There are a lot of incentives right now for first-time home buyers. So definitely look into that. If you want a lender that's going to cover your closing costs, are they going to put blinds on your house, are they going to do upgrades? Definitely shop around for the best lender for you, and shop around for the best rates. There's so much news going around like this, house market is crazy and it's not a good time to buy a house or whatever. I wouldn't let that get to you. I definitely didn't let that get to me. I just feel like if it's your time, it's your time, and God will bless it. Like I always say, don't forget to pray about it and write it down. Not just pray about it, but write down anything that is that you're trying to accomplish in this life. Write it down, because you're able to see it. You can speak it to yourself every day, and by God's grace, it will come to pass. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. It's short and sweet. I just wanted to share with you guys tips that I used in getting to where I am today. And I hope it's been helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. It will really mean a lot to me, and it will tell YouTube that you actually want to see my face, okay? So thank you again, and God bless.